Today we are here with Dr. Paul Gettenholm from the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering at Chalmers University of Technology to discuss his recent scientific achievements in the field of 3D printing. Him and his team have managed to use cellulose from wood in a 3D printer, as well as create an electrically conductive material for 3D printing. Dr. Gettenholm, could you please tell us a little bit more about this? How did you and your team develop this idea?
Good morning. We have been working in our laboratory with cellulosic materials for many years. And as you might know, Sweden has a lot of forests. So Sweden, Finland, Canada, and the US have a lot of forests which has been converted to pulp and paper has been used as newspapers for many years. Nowadays, people don't read very much newspapers. So there's a lot of material which can be converted into environmentally friendly materials, but the new technologies have to be developed. So for some time ago, a few years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, scientists have been able to develop a new process to convert the pulp, which is coming from the trees, into the gel, which is a nanofibrillate cellulose. It is by using the mechanical process, homogenization process. You can receive the gel, which has 99% water, and it's almost like a solid. It could be clear, and scientists start to investigate how it can be used. And one of the things what can be used is to cast a film and make a clear, like plastic film. So it's a lot of activities in Japan, also Sweden, Finland, US, Canada to make some new materials of that. But until now, the people have been working with 2D materials, so like the films. 3D printing technology has been for more than 15 years, and it's using plastic or metals. And normally, these particles can be connected by melting process. Wood or wood-derived polymers like cellulose does not melt. So if you melt it, it burns. So it cannot be used as a 3D printing material. There is another technology called 3D bioprinting, and it has been developed into the biomedical field. So 3D bioprinter is a printer which has very high resolution and handle liquids. So it's dispensing liquids, and it has been developed to be able to print with cells. So people have been printing tissue and are starting to think about printing organs. So the typical 3D bioprinter has a resolution of 10 microns, so you can position one single cell, and we use the hydrogels as an inks, and we can mix them with the cells. So we have started this technology 2 years ago and have used this nanocellulose fibrils, hydrogel, to mix with the cells and print the ear, cartilage tissue, and we publish that data. In that stage, the hydrogel is lightly cross-linked after printing, and it stays as a hydrogel. It's a good state for it's a good material for the cells to go. One day in our lab, we decided to dry the materials. So we normally print the grids, and we say, well, what's happened if we dry it? And we dried it, and it's very surprised because it's collapsed in the Z direction, but it had a very good resolution XY. So we thought about, well, what happens if we start to print the 3D object and develop technique to dry it and preserve a 3D structure. And we have used different techniques to dry, and we were able to actually preserve 3D structures. So we started to print the cubes, and we printed a small chair. So it's the first time a 3D object is printed using the cellulose from wood. And then we thought about how about to combine some functionality. So we add the nanocellulose, we add carbon nanotubes, which are also water dispersible. And we made a good dispersion with carbon nanotubes in the nanocellulose fibril ink. So we've got a conductive black. It is conductive, for example, dry. So now we have two inks, one which is insulating and one which is conductive. So we were able to print the support material, and then we could print on that with conductive materials. And everything after drying is become the conductive circuit, and it can be done in 3D. We also started to see the grids with different shape, and the way it looks like a fabric. So we think this is a great discovery, because it's the first time that now the 3D printing is available, this technology for this wood-based materials or plant-based materials. And those plant-based materials, they consume carbon dioxide when they grow, the trees. So they're environmental friendly, and they can be recycled, or they can be actually burned, or they can be degraded in the compost. The array of applications, the packaging, for example, always functionality, so you can have some information in the package, or maybe even fabrics, the clothes, or the wall dressings, or maybe even the furniture.
And
I saw yesterday after. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
sorry, in regards to the conductive gel, why did you choose carbon nanotubes instead of other materials?
Well, they actually can be derived from cellulose. So we have another project that we're working on making the carbon nanotubes from cellulose. They are dispersed in water, so it's easy to combine them with nanocellulose dispersion. That's the reason I did that.
Okay. And are the nanotubes aligned in a certain direction in the hydrogel?
Actually, probably not in the hydrogel. I think they're well dispersed, but upon some thresholds, you need to look on what is the concentration. You can, upon drying, they actually form the conductive layer. So it is important to have enough carbon nanotubes so they can, upon drying, to be connected together.
Okay. And what were some problems you encountered throughout this project?
Well, the major problem is to find the drying technique, because the gels collapse in Z direction. So we have some technologies which we are proposing, but I think it can even be improved in the future. And of course, the viscosity it is a problem, because we already at 2% of cellulose. You would like to have as much cellulose as possible, then it will be easier to preserve a pretty structure. But it's almost impossible to process, because it's getting very high pressure and very high viscosity. So the compromise between the viscoelastic properties, rheology, and the preservation of free shape, it's the challenge.
Okay. And why do you think these developments are important for the scientific community, and what are some potential applications for these materials?
So it's really make 3D printing green. Until now, we have only seen the plastic and the metal to be used as a material for 3D printing. And as long as you do the airplane's parts, it's fine to do it in the metal, titanium or other metal. Or if you make some components to machinery, it's fine to do it with the plastic. But when the 3D printing becomes commodity, and you want to make the toys or the packaging or other things, that would be very good using the sustainable materials like cellulose. And until now, it was not possible to convert them into 3D shapes. So this is a technology now. So 3D printing become green because it can use cellulosic materials which come from trees. At the same time, the 3D printing opened a whole new world of application for the materials from trees, because we can make the packaging of any shape and any design. We can make the packaging which will last, which will be more easy to transport. And at the same time, we also can introduce functionalities. We might have some already address implanted in the materials or embedded in the materials. We can have some information about the product which is inside. Another potential application, as of course, the fabrics. When you can think about it, you can use a polyester material, so you can use cotton. Growing of cotton is quite a lot of water. It's also fertilizers. People have been producing viscose material which come from wood, but the process is very environmental unfriendly. So scientists are looking now on the possibility to spin the fibers from the cellulose nanofibrils. But it's a long way to go before you make the fiber and make the fabric and then start to make the clothes. 3D print, bioprint, print directly the clothes with the shape and the size you want. So we think it is emerging now.
And
another application are the furnitures. And I actually saw the week after we had sent this press release from our university that University of Umeå has sent a press release that they will start a project of printing the houses from wood. They don't know how to do it yet, but at least they want to start to do that.
oh wow, that's amazing. And what are some future goals and projects you would like to accomplish based on these findings?
Well, we would like to see, of course, the upscaling of this technology. We made a small chair, which is maybe would be nice to make a chair you can sit on. And also, it would be nice to make some practical application of this conductive material, so maybe the batteries or the functional packaging. Because we work a lot with biomedical application, we might maybe first develop some materials for the patients and with some controls, electrical controls. So maybe the wound dressings or maybe even a diaper for the elderly people, which can communicate with the healthcare personnel, telling that the diaper is wet or maybe the wound dressing has to be changed. So this is something what we have in mind to look into the high-end applications.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, thank you very much. Again, this is Dr. Paul Gerenholm from Chalmers University of Technology, and we just discussed his recent scientific achievements in the field of 3D printing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Today we are here with Dr. Paul Gerenholm